abundance of respect that a person has for himself is the one that he extends to every other person. Our rulers are devoid of shame. Because if they had any sense of shame, they purge themselves of the excessive consumptions. Everything, just eat, drink, do everything in excess. The only thing they don't ever try to do is that which is in the interest of the people. Or no, let me rephrase that. There are multiple documentary evidence of Mr. Adams Oshiomhole saying categorically, as the chairman of the APC, you can decide what fits the acronym, saying spectacularly in public, join our party and your sins are forgiven. Join our party and your sins are forgiven. The president of the country at this point in time, when the statement was made, was General Muhammadu Buhari, the one who rode into office on the back of anti-corruption, the one who rode into office as the champion of the Talakawa, the wretched of the heart. He was almost a mythical figure in the northern part of Nigeria, where they believed that he would solve all the problems created by those who had looted this country blind. He was the president of the country when the chairman of the political party that brought him to power stated in the public space, join our party and your sins are forgiven. But Muhammadu Buhari was not corrupt. Nah, he wasn't corrupt. He was worse than corrupt. You all were the ones who never got the memo. The man came to install the reign of impunity. And you all should have known, because you were adequately warned. A man was marketing anti-corruption, but he surrounded himself with the most corrupt in the country. What they call PPP at any point in time is part of the state privatized into Tinubu and his cronies' pockets. Jagaban PLC. Those are the beneficiaries, but they at least bothered to lie to the people. And to a very large extent, they cared to pretend to be working. So you find them painting bad roads. You find them putting traffic lights. You find them telling you, oh, we are doing bus lane, even though they do not create any additional lane. They come and put barricades and reduce the number of lanes available to everybody. Then they take that privatized lane and then they give to their cronies. They privatize it thinking. They don't just take it and grab it by not. They knew how to make it seem like they were working for you. The PDP, brazen thief-free. Those ones couldn't care less because there were nobody was checking over them. They were the ones in power for 16 years. They were just taking with reckless abandon without bothering to do paperwork. They did not bother with the niceties of all of that. It was brazen. So I used to call them unthinking thieves. They were the ones who they would appropriate money for a non-existent road and they would chop it, and then they would appropriate money to build a bridge over a non-existent road. Those were their many years. Tinubu is the master of propaganda. He owns the Nigerian press almost effectively. The TV or radio, either if he does not own the TV, radio, or newspaper house outrightly, it's owned by proxies or owned by clients who will happily do as they are told. So the narrative is always shaped, and the Nigerian people bought that narrative. You remember what they told us after the electoral heist in February? Go to court. Oh yeah, the judiciary is the last hope of the common man. Omoyele Sowore has been the victim of the Nigerian state and its court systems. For what? Like the last 4 years, unable to step out of the country. Meanwhile, those who are looting the country dry, they're going back and forth. Nothing is happening to them. There are persons who came all the way since 2020. They are still in prison because of any SARS. Some of them haven't been taken to court more than once or twice. And the state continues to deny their very existence. Basis for cooperation, behind which we can make demands or behind which we can unite to free ourselves from this nightmarish existence. This is a situation where the more divided we are, the more victimized we become, because it is not in the enlightened, selfish interest of those who profit by our victimhood to do anything to change our situation. We, the victims, are the ones who would have to find the unity of purpose to free ourselves. Let me say this. We will not vote our way out of this mess. It's impossible to vote our way out of this mess. At some point, we're all going to come to the knowledge of the fact that we would have to unite to throw off the yoke around our necks. Why do I keep preaching unity? I'll tell you. The more divided we are, the more it assures the continuation and longevity of our servitude. But when we unite around common purposes such as freedom, equal rights, better living conditions for all of us, not just for a few, future for our children, freedom for our race. There are so many things to unite behind. The faster and quicker we, as a collective, will throw off the yoke of victimhood. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not particularly smart, but just to answer that, my brother, I'm almost 100% certain that he will release Nnamdi Kanu before Christmas. He needs to win heart and mind somehow. And it actually does not make sense to keep that man in prison, especially when there is no lawful order. But I'm not about to go appealing to anybody to release him. If they want to hit him, let them go and find Maggie, Pepe. They can buy Tatache. Mesuya is there as vice president. They can always go ahead and butcher him for all I care. That's their business. The question is, does killing Nnamdi Kanu evaporate the cause he's fighting? I may or may not agree with his methods. That's a different ballgame. But what has he done that the Nigerian state has not condoned, promoted, sponsored in much worse proportions?